Grand Rising, everybody. Thank you for joining me. My name is Eric, coming in from Columbia, South Carolina, and this is National Business Builders. And if you guys are joining me from our YouTube channel, then this is the first of many. Been talking about getting back on this on YouTube and sharing this information so it can be recorded, so people can go back and view it. However, if you're joining me from any other platforms, whether it be our Facebook or our TikTok channel, guys, please do me a favor: drop your city and your state. Let me know, guys. Let me know, guys, where you're tuning in from, and maybe we can connect. Like I said, I'm currently in Columbia, South Carolina, but we service all areas. And this information I'm going to share with you this morning, it is basic financial education. Basic financial education. Um, and I'm going to talk to you this morning about me, about what I didn't know about my money. Um, I say this all the time. It's easier to give somebody something that they want, sell somebody something that they want, excuse me, than it is to give them something that they need for free. And corporate America has figured that out. Banks have figured it out, and the government has figured it out. So, what motivated me to come on this morning, what inspired me to come on this morning, was that I was surfing social media, and I saw an advertisement about taxes, specifically about the W-4. And I saw this advertisement where on social media where this lady, um, she had a small little blurb, and it said, um, I don't care about filling out my W-4 or something like that. It doesn't matter how I fill it out. And the comment came back with the comment came back with it's important to fill out your W-4 correctly so that you won't end up owing at the end of the year. Well, the reason why I'm on here is because that is a tactic that has been used for years. It's a tactic of fear instead of education. So I want to start to educate you about or share information with you so you can become educated about your money and be more empowered about your money. For me, I'm going to talk about what I didn't know about finances. I did about 22 years in the military, and in between that, I had jobs as well. So just imagine having a job while I was full time military, but did not understand how money worked. I had no idea about how the W-4 worked. I had no idea about overpaying taxes. I didn't understand about refunds and how they worked, and that is a common occurrence across the board. It's not just a certain type of person. It's not about who goes to school for finances. It's not about who goes to college and gets a degree in business. This is a common occurrence across the board. People in this country, people in America, many people don't understand how personal finances work, and a lot of people don't understand how the tax system works. And because they don't, it is normalized to just figure it out on your own. It's normalized to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to go to school. I'm going to make good grades. I'm going to get this good job. And then I'll figure out how to keep the money. And then I'll figure out how to best put my money in the right place. So this is Mindset Monday, y'all. And on Mindset Monday today, we're talking about the three things that you're going to need to understand to improve your personal finances and then also to go on and start building wealth. The first thing is about mindset. It's going to take a mindset shift because the things that we were taught, or let's say the things that we were not taught, the things that were not discussed, is is affecting the way that we think about money. It's affecting the way that we think about how money works. It's also affecting the way we decide to earn our money and also how we decide to invest or spend our money. Remember, money is a tool. And because it is a tool, it is supposed to work for us. It's a resource. Well, when we're conditioned and groomed not to understand how money works, specifically our money, then we go through life and we just, I'll figure it out as I go. Well, some of the things that I did not know about personal finances, the one thing I didn't understand was I didn't understand taxes, didn't understand the tax system, not just filing my taxes. I didn't understand that there were different areas and different sections of taxes. So when I talk about taxes, and just to let you guys know, I am not a tax professional. I'm not a CPA. I'm not a tax attorney. I am just a person that has had some experiences in business, in life, and with my personal taxes. But when we talk about taxes, And that's the first thing I want to talk about on this Mindset Monday. And if you guys are just jumping on, do me a favor, drop your city and state, double tap. You can share this. If you're on YouTube, you can share this. If you're on any other social media platform, share it, like it, okay? What I did not understand, though, about taxes is that there were different areas of taxes, different areas. One of the areas that I should have been more mindful of is my personal taxes as it relates to my job. So I was taught, like a lot of other people, to go to school, make good grades, and get a good job. But nobody actually prepared me for what I was going to be up against when I got that money. So let's be honest. How many people have gotten a good job or a decent paying job and they shoved this piece of paper in your face? It was a W-4. That W-4, if you don't know, and a lot of people get these forms confused. They get the W-4 confused with the W-2. So let's just be clear. W-4 is a form that you get when you start your job. And you fill that form out and you tell your employer how much money to take out of your check in taxes. That's what the W-4 is for. Is to allow your job to be the middle person. They collect taxes on behalf of the IRS. They then, at the end of the year, turn those taxes into the IRS. That's what the W-4 is for. And if it's filled out correctly, you can either end up paying the government $300 to $500 at the end of the year or the next tax season, or if it's filled out correctly, they can end up owing you $300 to $500. There's a $300 to $500 gap, okay, and that's not bad. But if it's filled out incorrectly, then that means that you can owe much more, or the government can owe you much more in the form of a refund. Here's the deal. Many of us have learned how to overpay taxes on a job, not how to lower your taxes. Many of us have learned how to get a refund, and we've learned that getting a refund is normal. It's acceptable. Well, what I learned and what I didn't know about my money was that I had a choice. And I'm not talking about filling the W-4 out and filing exempt. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about understanding how to correctly fill it out. And now from that, I can live a better life. Because see, there's a correlation between the W-4 and your lifestyle. And if you don't believe me, let me explain it to you. We go through life. When we do hear about money or finances, the first thing we pick up on is don't overspend, don't live above your means, and we also hear budget. Well, here's the thing, and I want you guys to understand something. Overspending is not good, absolutely, right? Living below your means is a great idea, but you can only save so much money. Writing a budget is only going to be helpful if we understand how to manage our finances, if we understand how to capture all of our finances so we can manage them. Most people who accept and agree and believe that financial management is about budgeting, they are budgeting after tax dollars, meaning that they've probably filled out the W-4s incorrectly and they're managing a small percentage of their money, which means they end up budgeting a small percentage of their money. So budgeting is a part of financial education. It's a part of financial management. It's a part of wealth building. However, that's not the first step. So what I didn't know about money is I didn't know how to lower my taxes on my job. And because I didn't know how to lower my taxes on my job, I started to overpay taxes. And I continued to run that play for years until I retired. And I lost hundreds of thousands of dollars cash money due to overpaying taxes. And I could have potentially been a multimillionaire had I had that money to invest. However, you don't know what you don't know. But it was easier. It was easier to sell me on the idea of a budget. It was easier to sell me products that I wanted to believe what that was going to help my situation than it was to give me the financial information that was going to help me to be better with my finances. See, once again, guys, if you're just jumping on, my name is Eric, coming in from Columbia, South Carolina, and this is National Business Builders, where we teach basic financial education. And this is Mindset Monday, okay? And I have learned over the past eight years or so that it's easier to get to sell somebody something that they want than it is to give them something that they need for free. And that is a principle, I believe, that happens because of fear. We fear what we don't know and what we don't understand. So what I didn't understand about money was that when I was working these jobs, I didn't understand how to correctly fill out my W-4. Therefore, I started overpaying taxes. And throughout the year, as I was living, trying to support my family, I was living paycheck to paycheck. And some people would argue that, hey, well, you know what? You should have not been living above your means. Well, to be transparent, yeah, I was. I was living above my means, but I didn't even know it. Because when I got paid, or when I got the job, I got a job based off of my gross income is what I got that job. And I started basing my financial decisions off of my gross income, meaning the money that I was told that I would make. But because I didn't understand how taxes work, I didn't understand how the tax system worked, I didn't understand that every time I went to finance something, every time I went to go purchase something, that I was financing something off of my net income, meaning that the money that was left over. And of course, net income is not just taxes, minus taxes. It's minus all other types of deductions, whether it's medical, whether it's union, whatever other deductions there are, payroll taxes. So I didn't know that. And for some people who are willing to admit what they don't know, for some people who are willing to admit what they don't know, it's a common occurrence. And it's easy for someone on the outside looking in that's figured it out already to say, hey, you know what, you should have known that. Well, that's not one of the topics that was talked about in school. We talked about English, and we talked about math and science. We talked about extensive math subjects. We talked about calculus and trigonometry. We talked about things that I wasn't going to use in life. But when it came to creating a skill set, or when it came to understanding how finances worked, or how the tax system worked, that wasn't talked about. And, the ignorant me just assumed that I learned it when I got to that point. Well, what I didn't understand about money, what I didn't know about money, was that it doesn't work that way. And the game that is taught versus the game that is played, they're two different games. When we're taught to go to school, make good grades, and get a good job, and I'm not saying that working is a bad thing, but I'm saying is when we're taught that going to school, making good grades, getting a good job, that's a game that's taught. But the game that's actually being played is leverage. Leverage is the actual game that's being played. And once I understood leverage, once I began to understand leverage, and it took me a minute, got to be honest with you. When I began to understand leverage, I was 20 plus years, almost 30 years in the game of working before I understood leverage. But the one thing that I do know now, and I'm kind of jumping around, but the one thing that I do know now is the importance of learning how to leverage your money, understanding your personal finances, and understanding how tax system works. Now, this is by far not the most, it's not the most interesting conversation. I mean, let's be honest. We live in a world of technology right now, and social media, everywhere you look, every time you turn a page, it's somebody that's out there talking about, hey, how you can make more money. So when I first learned about the W-4, I was retired. I had retired from the military after 22 years when I first learned about it. So I was 42 years young. I was 42. And for a moment, I harped on the idea that I had lost all this money through the lack of education. Oh, I was educated. I just wasn't financially educated. So, like I said, we live in a technology world, and everywhere you turn, people are talking about, hey, you can make this money, you can make that money, you can do this side hustle, you can, people are making money on cryptocurrency, and they're making these investments, and they're flipping houses, and all that sounds great, guys. But I had to learn that it's not about how much money you make, but it's about how much money you keep, and how you begin to understand how to make that money work for you. And even though I don't work a job now, I actually was able to start a business that shows people how to improve their personal finances. And it's through basic financial education. Now, when you talk about paying for education, and if it's about college, people jump right on it. Once again, it's about being conditioned and groomed. People will jump on the idea about paying for the information, or paying for the how to do it, right? The proper way to do something. They'll pay for that through a college degree. And, let me back up a little bit. When people go to college, they're not paying for how to do it. No, they're not. You're not. When you go to college, you're not paying for how to do something. You're paying for information. They're still not teaching you how to apply it. You got to understand, people are more likely to pay for a college degree than they will pay for the information and the ability to learn how to apply financial principles. But anyway, there's a lot of people out there talking about how you can make so much money. And yes, you can make a lot of money, especially now on social media as influencers. People are doing all these different types of things, and they're making a lot of money. But the tax system is the one constant thing that most people don't understand. And it's very unfortunate that, and I'm going to address this. I'm going to address the elephant in the room. I just love, and one of the reasons why I haven't been coming on live is because I get distracted, especially when I'm on TikTok. I get distracted, but I'm going to address some things. It's very funny how we, as Americans, as humans, we believe in what we're doing, and the way that we're doing it is the best way. I'm just wondering what financial classes that you're going to take that's going to teach you financial education. That's my question. What financial classes are you taking that's teaching you basic financial education? Because finances is something that is ever changing. This is nothing that you're going to get a degree in. This is nothing that, when I come on here, and I'm gonna shift a little bit, guys, and I'm live on YouTube, so whoever sees this, they'll see the whole thing. I'm not gonna edit it, and you guys can go to our YouTube by simply going to our link tree, in the bio, and subscribe to our YouTube, and you'll be able to see this again. But it amazes me the amount of people. It amazes me the amount of people who already know. And I think that's one of the things that society clings to, and corporate America and banks and the government clings to. They cling to the information that they share, but the things that people don't research and know. So this is basic financial education. Investing, budgeting. Yeah, me too. I got information from millionaires as well. And it ain't about investing, and it ain't about budgeting. It ain't. So I don't know who you're talking to, but I'm going to stay focused. I'm talking about financial management, and I'm talking about basic financial education. And it just, it's funny how we get on social media platforms, and we get on people's lives, and we get on, and now we know. But I wonder how many people that know that are sharing. I just wonder how many people that know that are actually sharing. So we got to be mindful of the people that we listen to. We got to be mindful of the people that we hear from, throwing things out there, talking about investing. Listen, guys, the best investment that you can ever make is in yourself. The idea that you think that you're going to invest and budget your way to wealth is the biggest lie that was ever told. And that's a lie that keeps on being told. All you have to do is budget. There's some heavy hitting names out there. Some heavy hitting names out there that talk about finances. They talk about financial literacy. That's the first time you hear me say financial literacy, and that's the last time you're going to hear me say it. We're talking about financial education, because somebody who is literate, they can read and they can write. But somebody who's educated, they can apply. They can properly apply these things to their lives. And the one thing that I've learned is that when we do not think outside of the box, when we don't have an open mindset, when we don't think about that it's more than just making more money. Listen, guys, we know, we've heard about the stock market. We've heard about investing in the 401k. We've heard about crypto. We've heard about all these different things. Investing in real estate. We've heard about all these different things. But let's go to the beginning. How are we going to invest in any of those things if we don't have the money to do it? Where are we going to get the money to start building wealth? That's the tax system. That's the first step. And what I didn't know about my money was that I was losing thousands of dollars a month just by not understanding the tax system. See, I could have gone out and gotten 2 jobs, and I did. I worked multiple jobs at one time. And the more money that I made, the more money that I owed in taxes, because I didn't understand the tax system. And it goes further than just correcting your W-4. That's just the first step. But after you correct your W-4 to be able to leverage the tax system, you have to understand that this country was built on capitalism. And capitalism supports business ownership. And business ownership allows you to be positioned to lower your taxes even more, because there's more tax deductions out there available for business owners. This is all basic. This is not advanced. And this basic information that is new to a lot of people, it seems advanced because it was never talked about in school. For many of us anyway, it was never talked about in school. So now what happens is, once you position yourself to now have a better understanding of the tax system and how to leverage it, you now position yourself to be able to, guess what? You can start building wealth. But when we just go straight to budgeting, I want y'all guys to understand this, that when you go straight to budgeting, you're budgeting after tax dollars. When you go straight to budgeting, you're budgeting money that you don't even have. Why do you think that people have built businesses off of creating budget journals? Why do you think that people have created financial empires off of teaching financial literacy instead of teaching financial education, putting money in envelopes? They're teaching you discipline. They're teaching mindset and discipline, but not a lot of them are teaching you how to increase your cash flow. And the way that you increase your cash flow, now we're moving, is to learn how to lower your taxes. You have to lower things. In order to increase our cash flow, we have to slow money down from leaving us. We have to slow the money that's leaving us. We have to slow it down. We have to learn how to lower our taxes. We have to learn how to minimize our expenses. We have to learn how to manage and eliminate our debt. When we learn how to slow the money down that's leaving us, we can increase our cash flow. And once we increase our cash flow, now we can create a budget. So money management is about minimizing our expenses. It's about minimizing our taxes, because you cannot budget what you don't have. You can't invest what you don't have. You can't do it. And any well-respected educated person about money, any well-respected business owner knows these things. Now, they may not talk about it. And that's the funny part about it. They're not going to talk about it, especially out in public, because now what happens? They want you to buy the product. Before they go into detail, they want you to purchase the product, because they have learned the way that the game works. They throw you out a little bit of bait, they get you interested, and then they reel you in. These are some things that you can do on your own. Learning how to correctly fill out that W-4, reading about the tax system and understanding how it applies to you. Same formula. It's the exact same formula. From me to being on social media, and you can go and check out my profile, from me to being on social media, to somebody who you consider to be the elite, got to ask yourself, who's going to be on social media talking about these things? We're looking for wealthy and wealthy millionaires, wealthy people and millionaires to come down and talk to us about this. But it's really simple. You can go to any library, you can go to any digital space and look at, how can I begin to build wealth? You got to have money. You got to have resources. Where does that come from? If I have a job, I can either use the money from my job or I can start a business. Well, I can't do both, but I can. It's a method behind the madness. If I want to start building wealth, if I want to live a better life financially, I have to understand how money works. I have to shift my mindset. I have to open my mindset to understand that there were some things that possibly that I didn't know as a young person or as a younger person, and still some as an older person. We have to shift our way of thinking. We have to understand that money is a tool. We also have to understand that it's not just about creating a budget. It's about understanding financial management. Financial management means that we have to capture all of our expenses. We have to capture all of our money. If we don't know where our money's going, we don't know how to stop it from leaving. Taxes are our biggest expense. It's our number one expense. And it's easier to sell somebody something that they want. People want a budget because they believe that a budget is what's going to work. People want investments because they believe that that's what's going to work. People want to talk about cryptocurrency and they want to talk about real estate because that's what they believe that's going to work. None of those things are going to work if you don't have the basic financial principles. If you don't understand how the tax system works, if you don't understand how to lower your taxes, if we don't understand how to lower our expenses, if we don't understand how to control our debt, it doesn't matter how much money we make in real estate and crypto and investments. It doesn't matter how much we make. We're going to continue to lose that money. Or, we can choose to pay somebody to do it for us. And that's what most people decide to do. They decide to pay somebody to do it for them. But how can you hire somebody to do something for you without understanding what they're supposed to be doing? How can we honestly say that I'm going to hire someone to manage my finances when we don't know if that's what they're going to be doing, if they're doing the right thing or not? We've gotten lazy. We've gotten complacent. We've gotten comfortable, and we're trusting people more than we're trusting ourselves. So what I want you to do, guys, is I want you to consider some of the things that I said. I know it may have seemed like I was all over the place, but just wanted to share with you. And I'm going to be doing this on a regular basis. But what I did not know about money, about my money, and I want you to go to the YouTube channel, watch this again, see if it makes sense to you. It's a short video, but go back to the YouTube channel. The way that you get to my YouTube channel is you go to my link tree. Okay. If you go to my link tree, you can go and scroll down and check out the YouTube channel. Also, we have a Facebook page as well. But here's the thing, it's easy. It's easy to hop on somebody's live. It's easy to hop on somebody's social media and defend what you're doing. It's even harder to listen because you just might pick up on some things that you didn't know. I know I did. I didn't understand how the tax system worked. I didn't understand how to correctly fill out my W-4. I didn't understand how to lower my taxes in my life. I didn't understand that having a business was going to position me to build wealth. I didn't understand that. All I understood was I need to get a raise. I need to make more money. I need to get a better position. I need to get a better job. That's all I understood. And I was ready to buy whatever I was ready to buy whatever package or whatever thing it was that somebody was selling. I was ready to buy that. And I had no problem with buying it because at that point, I didn't have time to learn it on my own. I didn't think it was important enough to learn it on my own. I didn't think about doing it myself and becoming educated. I just thought, hey, you know what? I'm going to get this information. It's going to push me to the front of the line and I'll be fine. But that's not true. It's not. It's never the case. Before you outsource your money to somebody else, learn about it yourself. Get familiar with your money. Get familiar with your finances. Basic financial education, the things that I did not know about my money. I didn't know how the tax system worked. I didn't know that I could lower my taxes by correcting my W-4. I didn't know that getting a refund was a bad thing. I didn't know that. I didn't know about inflation and how getting a refund actually, lessened my chances of building wealth. I didn't understand that I lost value in money over time because I was getting refunds. I didn't understand that yesterday's value on my money was more important than tomorrow's. I didn't understand that. And I didn't understand it because where I learned, the platform where I did all my learning was in a classroom. And it's funny. Once again, there's more people that are on these social media platforms that know about what I'm talking about. They understand what I'm saying, but it's not a lot of people sharing the information. And I don't think they're not sharing because they're selfish. I just think that there's a lot of people who don't feel comfortable sharing. Some people have probably been beaten down. Some people have probably tried to share and didn't get the response that they thought they should get. That was me. I was one of them. I wasn't getting the response that I thought I should have gotten. Some people just want people to know, but they don't want to be judged. There's more people out there that know what I'm talking about. There's more people out there that can help us and direct us and guide us in the right area. Here's the issue. It doesn't matter. And it's something you got to remember. It doesn't matter how good of a job you have. It doesn't matter how good of a paying job you have. It doesn't. The more money you make, the more money you're going to give away if you don't understand the tax system. The more money you make, the more money you're going to lose in taxes if you don't understand the system. The more money you make, the more money is going to be squandered away, going right back to the government, an organization that cares nothing about you. I'm telling you. People believe and have been taught to believe that taxes are American. But if taxes are so American, why are there a certain group of Americans that are not paying taxes or that are not overpaying taxes? Those are the things that we've been taught to believe. It's not about how much we make, it's about how much we keep. And I'm sorry, man, this doesn't have to be an individual race, but it's kind of getting that way. We can learn together, we can become educated together, and we can build as a unit. But me 2016, and it's not about not paying. Honestly, guys, it's not about not paying. It's about not overpaying. Once again, I don't want to make this just about taxes, but I want you to understand that basic financial education, it starts with understanding how finances work, how money works, and that money's a tool, and that money can be used to build. Okay, that's what it's about. So, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end the YouTube. I'm going to end the YouTube broadcast So you guys can go back and check this out at any time. I'll be back and try to make this, try to make this an occurrence, to do my best to be consistent on this. But I'll be back. You guys can go and check out the YouTube. Like I said, go to the link tree, check out the YouTube channel, and subscribe. And maybe we can get together and talk some more. Okay, you guys take care.